filtrar. Hermoso. Gracias.
I need two. It's not. Is this for
It's a
tonight?
magnifying glass. Yeah, I have that one already. That's it.
That's it for now. Yeah.
No. We did this one. We did this one. Am I gonna get a bond yet? Okay, I'll be right there. Just the blue line. It's empty. I thought it was like all like
You did homework the first homework.
Write it out. Did you ever get the big one?
Yeah, everything's up there, and I'm down here sometimes.
I was just wondering if you got it because I don't want to get lost.
I don't have any responsibility.
I'm just wondering if it's there. That's good. I want to
Is it out of the
big one.
Yeah. I don't want to there. Yeah. Like, if it disappears, that's not. I'm not going to take it from there. Yeah.
Okay, now it's on. Yes. No. No.
Check, 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 check. Check, 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 check. How's that? That's good.
I think it's the cable. That cable's pretty new. Yeah, we can mic it.
There.
Oh, there it is. Okay. Wait till the sound guys give us the cue. Do you have? Don't give me up. Oh, Mark, do you have a mic or are you trying to plug that? Oh, that's the other one. Oh, okay. Let's do it. Ready?
Waited till I saw the sun. Don't know why I didn't come. I left you by the house of fun. as empty as a drum. I don't know why I didn't come. I don't know why I didn't come. I don't know why I didn't come.可以了，对吧？喂喂，非常感恩中午美妙的音乐。
Hello. Yeah.
非常感恩中午非常美妙的音乐，谢谢。
Thank you so much for the beautiful music.
首先我非常感恩格西老师有机会和各位老师一起来学习，谢谢。
I'm very thankful that I have the chance to study here with Geshe Michael and all the other teachers.
自从学习了格西老师讲的空性和种子智慧，
Since I have studied from Geshe Michael about the emptiness and seeds,
我就变得别无选择。
I have no other option.
只有充满激情的种种子。
I have to keep planting seeds with my passion.
接下来和各位老师分享的是，我们用1年的时间，一直在种种子，种出的一个种子会的创业的解决方案和各位老师分享。
So next, I want to share like a business plan with all of you, and I have spent the last 1 year to keep planting seeds. Then I get this idea.
This is a cover of 种子会 Entrepreneurship Program Standards Manual. In English, 种子 means seed, and the moral of it is to spread the wisdom. As above sentence said, giving is scaling, blessed are you, is also 种子会's principle. Page 2 is the dictionary contents. This is the concept explains of 种子会. We keep the language as simple as possible so that people can easily understand what 种子会 is and how it works. The emphasis is tell people 种子会 is the mutual multimedia platform for the people who want to achieve all the goal with the powerful tool of Dr. Geshe's Jingang wisdom. Zhongzihui's entrepreneurship programs include of make more money, have a body which stays young and strong, and also have great relationships. The day-to-day running of Zhongzihui is currently being done by WeChat internet radio and online store. In the future, Zhongzihui will work toward the establishment of Creative O2O platform. The name of this platform is Seeds Tree. a classic story from Dr. Gashi, and it's also the significant concept of Dr. Gashi: hen, dog, and wisdom. The truth of Dr. Gashi's Jinggang wisdom. It plays a huge role on getting happiness. Dr. Gashi usually says, one who doesn't put the teaching into actual practice is not different from animals, no matter how well this person might have done in listening and reflection. So the instrument of mental growth by Dr. Gashi's Jinggang wisdom are also very important. It includes meditation, Nigma Yoga, 6-time book, and the pen. 3 inspiring success stories from people who are practice efficient Dr. Gashi's Jinggang wisdom. The second story is about getting heirs, and the third story is about have great relationships. The logical core of 种子会 course. At first is wisdom, then richness, heirs, relationship, finally reach inner peace. The curriculum model of 种子会: book club, workshop, experience type course by 3 days and 2 nights, 1-by-1 coach. Here are some examples of 种子会 entrepreneurship programs.
So
there are some offline courses of the C Club.
就是我们最殊胜的第一类土壤是给予我们智慧的老师，所以我们有一个尊师的课程。
So we have a course teach you how to take your teacher, because teacher is our best soil, one of our best soils.
还有给予我们生命的父母，也是我们最肥沃的土壤，所以有孝道的课程。
And then parents who give us life, and they are one of the best soils too.
这个完美的课程我要跟老师分享一下。
So I want to share this perfection course with all the teachers here.
我们发现中国有20多万的心理咨询师。
We find out that in China there are like 200,000 psychologists in China.
他们的目标咨询客户都是一些失恋的、面临婚姻破裂的和急需要找到伴侣的、经受着重大的精神的困惑的、急需要帮助的人群。
Yeah, they have many clients who are those people who had relationship problems, who are facing mental illness.
我们希望透过空性和种子的智慧，帮助他们运用心理咨询的技术，为那些急需要帮助的伴侣关系有问题的人提供非常好的长期的服务。
So we want to use the seed and emptiness idea to help those psychologists to treat these clients with their long-term illness.
面临伴侣关系问题，中国有9000万的人群。9000万。
There are 90 million people who are facing those relationship problems.
对。那中国有3000万的老人，重症孤寡老人需要我们去关爱。
And in China, there are 30 million like old sick people who really need our help.
所以未来我们希望看到有人排队去关爱老人。
So in the future, we really want to see people like lining up to queue up to visit the old people.
非常希望在座的各位老师能够加入我们共同的这个种种子的行列中，感恩，谢谢。
So I want to invite you to join us into this seed planting business. Thank you. 还有
最后一句话
Last words, last
对
words.
就是我们希望在世界各地凝聚一股真善美慧的力量。
So we want to connect a power of truth, beautiful, and kindness all over the world.
透过100%有效的金刚智慧法则，
Through the Jinggang method, Diamond Cutter method, which works 100%,
服务于创业者实现个人、家庭、事业的持续成功。
then we can help the entrepreneurs to reach the success of business, relationship, and family and personal life.
然后希望世界变得更加美好。
So we want the world to be a better world.
中国需要各位老师，谢谢。
So China needs all teachers. Thank you.
I also learned in Singapore that Ingta has organized, I believe it's 10 groups of 90 people. It's 990 people, 10 groups on the Chinese Facebook, WeChat, and they are constantly communicating with each other all day and helping each other in their practice. So I'd like to give her a hand for that. Yeah. So like they say, my boyfriend yelled at me, and then somebody say, bad seeds, and then they say, try to take it out, and, you know. I think first there was emails, then there was websites, then there was Facebook, and now there's WeChat. So I think WeChat's going to be the Dharma teacher of these times. You want chai? Okay.
Shingla
So now Pabanko Rinpoche is going to explain the image of the preta approaching the stream and seeing blood and pus. So Adam, we're on Lenshing Sherwa, right? Lenshing Sherwa, Chu Porba, Kangla. Good? Okay. Lenshing Sherwa is the definition of water, the water element. So I know the 5 elements are very important in China, and they're very important in Buddhism. Sa-chu me lung namka, sa-chu me lung namka. Say sa, chu me lung namka. Earth, water, fire, wind, and space. Okay? And each one has a definition, and each of the definitions has 2 principal words. So the definition of water is Len Xing Sherwa. Say Len Xing Sherwa. Wet and flowing is the definition of water. Okay. In Buddhist tradition, the 5 elements' essence is their function. So water isn't a thing that you can see. Water is anything that flows and anything that's wet. It could be melted steel. So it's almost like the power of liquidity. And then it's an old Greek idea, it's an old medieval idea, but the Buddhist one is more sophisticated. And you can fool around with the elements, you know. So it's kind of cool. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. Lenshing Sherwa, Chu, so he's making a joke. Wet and flowing, comma, a positive water, okay, which is water. Porpa, misspelled here. It should be porpa. Porpa is the little bowl that all monks are supposed to have, okay? We all have a little wooden bowl. In Sri Lanka, it's this big, okay? Because you're supposed to only eat like 1 big meal a day. So it's a begging bowl, you know. So I went with the monks in Sri Lanka. I was amazed, you know. The bowl was like this big, and they put like salad, and then they throw all in one bowl: salad, then they put, you know, like pancakes, and then they put some soup, and then the last thing they threw in was ice cream, and it was on top, and you're supposed to eat it, you know. So anyway, let's you chapora kangla. Kang here means full, okay? Oftentimes it means what, where, when, how, okay? La, into that, or towards that glass full of water. Le chengi la mi yidak subki, a deva, a human, and a preta, each with their different karma, le chen. Kitebetse, when they look at that water, mistaken the Tibetan, okay? Tepetse, duci dan chudan nak chak tu nawa. It appears to them as amarta, nectar, to the deva, chu or water to the human, and nakchak means like pus and blood to the yida, to the preta. Okay, Now he goes into a little explanation about pretas, okay? Yida namla, pretas, yarn dawaang, even the moon in the summer feels hot to them. So they don't want to go out in the moonlight because it feels very, very hot, like Phoenix on a good day. Okay. Tsashin, gun nimaang, and the winter sun even the hot sun in the winter feels cold to them. Okay. Changwadang. Now here's a cool thing that you have to, those Dharma veterans, you can cook it, okay? Dunkor, what's dunkor? By the way, it's one of the only times we pre-nasalize the second column. Dunkor. Kala chakra, the Kala chakra. Okay, this big tantra that only one person is allowed to give in the world. Okay, Kala chakra. Dunkor dang. Lumba. Lumba here means chulumba. What's that? Abhidharma. Okay, so these are two very opposite ends of the Buddhist spectrum. The Abhidharma is supposed to be the lowest school of all. The Kala chakra is a very high tantra. Okay, and in those two systems, Cheda Jawe Dulja. Okay, start dictionary entry. Say Cheda Jawe. Cheda Jawe. Dulja. Cheda Jawe. Then it's got kind of a batadata. Cheda Jawe. Dulja. Cheda Jawe. Dulja. Okay, Dulja we had. What was that? Yeah, the one who is to be beaten down and tamed. Okay, Dulja. Okay, Dulja. Cheda Jawa is a very special word. It means for whom a particular teaching was designed. Okay, a disciple for whom a particular teaching was designed. Chedu means for the purpose of. Jawa means done. Okay, Cheda Jawa means for whom a certain teaching was designed. Okay, Cheda Jawa Duja. And that's a very famous concept in Buddhism. A Buddha or a teacher will look at a person, try to judge their capacity, and then they will teach whatever they can handle, you see. And a good teacher will sound quite different on different days to different audiences, okay? We carry a lot of luggage around when we travel. Why? I have to carry around a full set of yoga teacher clothes, and then I have to carry around a full set of rock star clothes, and then I have to carry around a full set of monk's robes, and then I have to carry around like 5 business suits, and then I have to have a sitar and a bass and a guitar and a piano for Anatole, and life is difficult. Why? Because you have to morph to the people you're teaching. Okay, so Chitajawa Duja means Buddha will change his presentation or her presentation depending on who's the Chetijawa Duja, okay? Here they're talking about 2 Chetijawa Dujas. One is for Kala Chakra and one is for the Abhidharma, okay? Nila, in those 2 systems, Rirab, what's Rirab? Rirab is this mountain in the middle, okay? This one here, that's Sumeru in Sanskrit, the highest mountain in the world, okay? Supposed to be the whole world runs around this mountain, okay? It's called Dhruva in the yoga. Rirab, according to the Kala Chakra, Rirab is a cone, okay? According to the Abhidharma, it's a 4-sided pyramid. Reverse pyramid, kind of complicated. It goes like this. Okay, like that. But anywhere, it's square. Okay? And in the Kala Chakra, it's cylindrical. And they're talking about a fixed thing. Who laughed? That's good. You laughed? Somebody giggled. There are no fixed things. Okay? It's like the pen and the chew toy applies to planet Earth. Okay? Somebody told me they saw a mountain range on the way here that they never saw before. They're like, is that possible, Geshe Marco? I'm like, here it comes, okay? Okay, nothing is fixed. Everything depends on how you see it. And it breaks my heart to see high Tibetan Lamas apologize for their cosmology, you know. maybe Abhidharma people really saw the earth as a flat circle. And maybe Kalachakra people really saw the earth as a round. And maybe we haven't reached the ultimate description of the earth yet. Maybe the 2014 version of the earth is not the last one. Duh. Okay? Every 10 years people change, their idea about where the earth came from. Every 20 years, And then every generation thinks we got it right. Every generation. So if you want a good joke, like if you're bored on a long airplane flight to Kyrgyzstan, John Brady, I tried to find the nearest airport to Kyrgyzstan. It's a 10-hour flight from everywhere. So if you're bored on the plane, take along like a 1920 Scientific American and read their definitive, final ideas about the universe, And they're funny, they're silly, but they talk with such authority, these great scientists. And then 50 years from now, they'll say, we're crazy also. They'll say, I can't believe that they thought that, Okay. But the world appears differently to different people in different eras, okay? Therefore, Tushir Nangwasok Yupatardam, okay? Yupatar means there's a reason why they present the world in a certain shape to Abhidharma students, and then when those same students get to Kalachakra, they tell them it wasn't that way. Okay. Shenyang Papa Tomeki, Jetson Jamba Kimo Mechung Rushing, Bu Yanwar Sik. Shenyang, moreover, Papa Arya, okay, the person who saw emptiness. What is it in Chinese language? Zhongwen. Shengzhe. Shengzhe. Yeah? Is Arya? Say again. Shengzhe. Okay. Shengzhe. I gotta write that down, hang on. Shengzhe. Okay. This Papa was Tokmei. Asanga. Okay? Asanga means very much touches things. Asanga means no one can touch him. Okay? Asanga. Okay? Asanga ki Jetson Jampa. He saw Jampa. Who's Jampa? Maitreya. Okay? As a ki. As a dog. As a kimo. As a bitch. Okay? A female dog. And me means, okay, turn on the dictionary. We're going to do me. Samata mada me. Okay? Me. Me means the lower part of anything. So in Tibet there were two parts to Sera Monastery. One was on the upper part, one was on the lower part of the mountain. The higher part of the Sera got put lower on the mountain. And so we call, half of Sera is called Sera Me, or there's Gyume Tantu College, same thing, okay, Me. So Me means lower part. It can mean the lower half of a person's body. Unfortunately, the word for prostitute in Tibetan is me tsong. They sell their me. Okay, tsong means to sell. And then in a book, me means further down in the book, further on in the book. Okay, if they say below, it means I'm going to talk about this later in the book. So those are the meanings of me. Okay, what we have here is the chemos me was rotting. Yeah, the lower part of the dog's body was rotting, okay? Stop dictionary entry. And it's a famous story, okay? You want to hear the story? Yeah. Most of you heard it already. So Asanga wanted to see Maitreya. Asanga decided he wanted to see Maitreya. So he decided he would go into a long retreat, which happened to, like 30 people here a couple years ago. And he said, if I go into a long retreat, maybe I can see Maitreya. So he went to a cave near, not far from a city, and in the mountains, and he stayed in the cave, and he stayed for 12 years. I think it was 12 years. And he tried to meet Maitreya, who is the coming Buddha, who is the next Buddha in this world, much, much closer than you can imagine. And he was hoping to see Maitreya. Then he did all Maitreya's mantras, and he did all Maitreya's prayers. He tried very hard, and he meditated about Maitreya. How do you say Maitreya in Chinese language? Say again. Mi le fo. Mi le fo. I gotta write this down. Mi le fo. What? Oh yeah, mi le fo. So, and he didn't see anything. Nothing happened. And he was really upset. He got really upset. And then after, I think it was 12 years, but it's a long story, he quit. He decided to quit. So he walked out of the cave and he went down into the plains and he decided to go to the city, and just, enjoy himself. Probably he's going to go to McDonald's. And on the road he saw this ki mo me kok ru. Okay, ki mo me kok ru. Ru means rotting. Me kok means the internal organs. Me means the lower. So this dog got hit by a wagon, and the wheel went over the dog's middle part and cut their body open, and then their guts came out, and then the dog was still alive, but it was dying, and then some bugs got into the dog's. Here it says bu yanwa means maggots were wiggling around in the body of the dog. So then a sangha was going to town. He's like intent on having a good meal, mak meal. And then he saw this dog, and he like started to pass the dog. And then he said, I don't know, maybe I should help the dog. So he went over to the dog, and he looked at the dog, and he saw all these maggots, worms in the body. Then he said, if these worms stay here, this dog can never heal. This dog will die for sure. So he thought, I'll get the worms out, and then maybe the dog can heal, So he reached down to take the worms out, and then he picked up one, and then he saw he was hurting it with his fingers, because the body of the maggot is so sensitive and soft. Then he said, oh, I can't do that. I will kill the maggots, and they won't have a place to stay, Then he thought, even if I can pick them up and I put them on the dirt, they will die. The maggots will die. So he cut his arm open. And he thought, I will take the maggots out of the dog and I will put them in my own arm, Then everybody's happy, So he cut his arm, and then he looked down at the dog and he says, I cannot pick up the maggots, I will kill them. So he said, maybe I should use my tongue. I will pick up the maggots with my tongue, and then I'll put them in my own arm, So he like, he got, then he's like grossed out, and he's like, then he just closed his eyes. He just like closed his eyes. And then his tongue hit the street, hit the road, dirt, Then he's like, what's that? And the dog's gone, Then he looks up, and Maitreya is standing there, And he's like, Maitreya. He says, yes. He says, you were a dog? You were showing as a dog? Yes, I was, Then he's like, wow, he said, then he got angry at Maitreya. He said, 12 years I'm trying to, I asked you to come to the cave, 12 years you didn't come, what's the matter with you, like, come now as a dog, what's wrong with you, And he says, it's your fault, you didn't have love in your heart, you didn't have enough love. Now, just this moment, you are willing to put those bugs in your arm, and at this moment you had love. You got real love. Maitreya's name means love. Maitreya means love. Now you have love, Now you can see me. Then he said, by the way, don't get mad at me. I should get mad at you. Why? you were doing your mantras. Of course I have to do mantras. That's how I'm supposed to see you. No, but don't you remember? Every time you're doing your mantras, your throat got dry. Yeah, I remember. Then you used to spit. Then you know how many times you hit me with your spit? You know? Then he said, I'm so sorry. You know? Then he's so happy. He grabbed my chair. He says, you ride on my shoulders, you know. And he went into town and he said, I found my tray, I got my tray. Then like everybody in the town saw this crazy guy and there's nothing on his shoulder. And he's like, I got my tray, I got my tray. And everybody's like, sure, yeah, okay. It's all right, you know, you're okay. Then one old lady came out because she was a very good Buddhist, you know. And she came out and she said, that's strange. The guy has a rotten dog on his shoulders. Like she had enough karma to see the dog. Only one person had enough karma to see the dog, you know. Nobody had enough karma to see my trail, okay? Just him, okay? Kelwa, right? He had Kelwa. So that's the story of Bu Yanwar Singh. That's the story. He doesn't tell you the whole story. He just says, you know, like the story of Asanga with the dog, okay? By the way, later, they went off to Maitreya's paradise, and Maitreya taught him 5 great books, and those 5 great books are about more than half of the curriculum for our Geshe course. You know, those books are very important for we spent 12 years on the first book, 75 pages. We cover 6 or 7 pages a year, and that's how deep it is. It's a deep book, really deep, okay? So the mind-only school and the middle way school, the great books, many of them were written by a Sangha who was writing. Maitreya told him what to write and he wrote it, okay, like that. So those books are very famous in China also. Then he gives another example. Sangye Yeshi ki Lopan Jampel Shinyan Kimtsin Shingmo Shing Bu Tuk Tungwa Shik Tu Sik. Then there was a famous Lama named Sangye Yeshi. His teacher was named Jampel Shinyan. And he was a Kimtsin. Kimtsin means a monk who's like living on a small farm by themselves. And they are living in a small house like a hermit, but who is also keep farming for their living. Kimtsin Shingmo means he was what do you call, plowing fields, okay? Mo means to plow. Ramatamanarumo means to plow. We should start a dictionary entry. Moa, Ramatamanarumo ba moa means to plow. And we have a famous example of that in the long mandala offering. Mama bai lotong, mama bai lotong. What? Crops that grow themselves. Nobody has to plow them. Mamupa loto. Okay, it's like crops that grow without anybody planting them. This lama was plowing a field, and as he plowed the field, he would dig up worms, earthworms. Okay, and then he would grab the worms and take them home and make a soup, worm soup. And he would eat the worms, okay? And this disciple thought he saw his teacher eating the worms, but he wasn't eating worms, okay? He never touched the worms. But the disciple had lousy karma, and he saw the teacher was eating meat, or killing bugs and eating worms, okay? But it was all like, just the students saw it that way. The Lama wasn't doing that, okay? Te lopa ang lungbe mi tamche ki nyapa shigle dubchendu tokpat samyang machung. Te lopa, if you're interested, here's the Tibetan for te lopa, okay? Tai lopa. Te lopa, lungbe mi means all the people who lived in his area. Tamche saw him as a nyapa. What's a nya? Yeah, nya means fish. Nyapa means a fisherman. Nyapa le dubchen means a great city. Drukchen is the Tibetan translation of Mahasiddhi. Okay, they didn't see him as a Mahasiddhi. Dopa means to have any suspicion that somebody is a great Mahasiddhi. Dopatsam Machung. All the people who lived around him had no suspicion at all that he was a great yogi. He just looked like a fisherman, okay, killing fish. Okay, Dopatsam Yang Machung Shing. Narope Kyang, his student is named Naropa, whose partner is Nigoma. Okay, Naropa also saw his teacher Telopa as taking Nya Sun. Sun means live. Like he didn't even kill them. He got them alive and threw them in the frying pan. And he would just take a live fish and throw it in the frying pan and burn it to death and eat it. Okay, like that. Nya Sun Seng Zepa Tong. Okay, Tong. That's how he saw his own teacher. Okay, Naropa, who's like the greatest monk who ever lived in India, who had the greatest partner who ever lived in India, who was the abbot of Nalanda Monastery and the gatekeeper to protect the monastery. He saw his teacher as throwing live fish into a frying pan and eating them. Okay, he had bad karma to see that. Then one day, they don't say it here, but if you want to know the whole story, one day he complained to his teacher, and he said, first of all, how can you catch fish? Secondly, why don't you wait until they die before you cook them? Why do you throw live fish in a frying pan and eat them? And he was cooking these live fish, and the fish were going like that. And Tilopa said, "You have a problem with that?" And he's like, "Yes." And he just takes the fish and he throws them in the water, and they go. He brought them back to life. So it was just the student had this bad karma to see something wrong. They saw fish. Maybe it was really, to Tilopa, it was like a piece of corn or something, or a piece of rice, okay? Rice, like that. It's just the student's bad karma. So if you can see a bowl of rice as a fish, then you can see your teacher as normal, okay? By the way, who was the other famous fisherman who got accused of this kind of stuff? Yeah, Luipa, okay? His name means fish guts eater. And he just ate fish guts. And he's one of the greatest tantric teachers and yogis in our lineage, okay? And I'm not sure they haven't mixed him up here, but it's okay. Nakpope kyan dorje pa modzema sig dugna. You want to hear another story? This is a long story. Anyway, here we go. Nakpopa means an ancient high yogi named Krishnapada. Okay. Krishna means he was probably dark-skinned, and Pada means, it's a respectful word because Pada means the leg. It means venerable or eminent Krishna Pada Acharya. So he was a famous yogi in India. And he had a disciple called Tsembua, okay? Then they were studying Vajrayogini practice, which happens to be the favorite tantra of Diamond Mountain. So if you ever come to Diamond Mountain regularly, you can start to learn the Vajrayogini secret teachings, okay? Vajrayogini is this beautiful angel, highest Buddha, and she's not a boy, she's a girl. So in Buddhism, in our Buddhism, that we were taught for 1,000 years, the highest Buddha is a woman, okay? And her name is Vajrayogini, okay? On Friday night, we will do a Vajrayogini offering. We will have a special fire for Vajrayogini, and that fire makes peace in the world. We believe that the smoke from that fire is spread around the world like jet plane pollution. And and it touches all the countries and it touches all the people. So we do a fire and we imagine that we burn holy things, and then we imagine. So you guys have done in the past, I think it was Amitabha fire. So this time we're going to do Vajrayogini fire, which is a little bit different. And it's very holy for me personally. It's my main practice, and it was my teacher's main practice. So, and it's the main practice at Diamond Mountain. Okay, so anyway, they were doing a lot of Vajrayogini practice. Then they went on a trip, where they went walking on a trip. Tsempo is the disciple. He's not even a monk, he's a Getso. He's a, what do you call, novice, baby monk. And he's traveling with his teacher, Krishnapada, Nakpopa. And they came to a river. And there was a woman sitting on the riverbank, and it was, in Tibet there's many, many streams because there's snow mountains. So you walk for half a mile, you have to cross a stream, and then you get wet, You have to pull up your robes and tie them and walk through this ice water. And then on the other side you just keep going. And this is all of Tibet until recently, it was like that. And they came to the kind of big river, and there's this woman sitting on the bank, and she said, "Can you help me?" And they said, "What do you need?" And she said, "I can't get across the river." And so Krishnapada said, "Okay, come with us." And the lady put her hand out, and she had leprosy. Her fingers, some of her fingers were falling off. Then Nakpopa's like, he said, I can't get sick. I can't get leprosy. I'm a teacher. I can't risk it. I'm sorry, we can't help you. And he told his students, don't help her. Leave her on the riverbank. And then he started across, and a couple of other students started across. And this baby monk, he's like looking at her, and he's like, she could be my mom, So he's like looking at it, and he said, and then there was this thing about monks aren't supposed to touch a lady or especially pick up a lady. And everyone's like, don't pick her up. And then he's like, I don't know, I think I have to do it, I think I have to help her. I'm sorry, but I have to do it. I have to help her. And he picks her up in his arms, and he starts to go across the river. Halfway across the river, she turns into Vajrayogini, and she grabbed his arm and she flew to heaven. Tapakache. He's gone. Never came back. Okay. And then the other monks were all, hey. So be careful with old ladies. So here it says, Nakpopa Krishnapada saw Dorje Pagmo, Vajra Varahi, the sow, as a Zemo. Ze means leprosy. Zemo means a woman with leprosy. Zemor means as a woman with leprosy. Sik, Dugna, okay. Now it's going to get heavy, okay? You want to go deeper? Yes. Chinese are like, yeah. The Americans are like, what? Sorry. My teacher gets mad when I pick on Americans. Anyway, okay. Therefore, Rangchaki Shenyan Mir Tongte, therefore, okay, Rangchak is like Ochak. We had it this morning. Us guys, all of us people, okay? Rangchak, ki, by us, Shenyan. What's Shenyan? Geshe, okay, our teacher. Mir means as a human, okay? Miru, mir. Tongte, the fact that we see our teacher as a human and not as a ta, horse, or a ki, Or a bongbu means a jackass, a donkey. Okay, bongbur mean nangwa. The fact that they don't look to us like an animal is garab. Say garab. Goddamn good luck. Goddamn good luck. You know, okay. It's lucky. You know, it's lucky we have enough karma to see them as a human. Okay, I mean we're so bad we could see them as a horse or a dog or a donkey. Okay, I mean we're doing pretty good to see them as a human. Okay, all right, got up. That's good luck. Okay, got him. There's a famous got up Wangshu, but that's a long story. Okay. Chenga Lodu Gansen Ki. There's a very famous Lama called Chenga Lodu Gansen. And there's a quotation here from him, although I couldn't find it and my friend Art couldn't find it. We couldn't find it so far, where it came from. Rang re lengen dripe chetsula lama miru tongman gatseyen. We have such bad karma, you and me, that clouds our vision. That it's pretty good luck that we can even see our lama as a human. Okay, that's lucky. Okay, got him. Kidam bombon matong sunam che. We have such good karma that we don't see them as a dog or a donkey. Okay. Muga ningne kechik shake se. So please respect them from your heart. Oh children of Shakya, of the Shakya. What's Shakya? Not Sakya, okay? Sakya is a Buddhist sect in Tibet. Shakya is the clan of Lord Buddha, Shakyamuni, okay? So, children of Shakya. Who's the children of Shakya? We are. Okay, we're the children of the Shakya. Okay, Shakya says, Shesum. I'm going to stop there because it's a good place to stop. He goes on to another subject. We have about 15 minutes, and I thought we could just enjoy and have some questions. If you have to go to the bathroom, go ahead. But if you have any questions, Stanley?
We have been everything for millions of times. Have you been any bodhisattva before? If you haven't, don't stop us. If we have been, do we become a human again?
Okay, that's a good question. So, if I've been through countless lives, no beginning, in this world, and if I've been Miss America billions of times, or I've been president of the world billions of times, then have I been a bodhisattva before? And then if I have, what happened? Did I get like kicked out of the bodhisattva club, or what happened? We say that once you reach bodhisattva, you cannot. I would say you cannot go back. Okay, you can be reborn, and you cannot remember for a few years. But by the time you reach about 16 or 17 years old, you'll remember. Okay, and there's a strange thing that after you reach the first bodhisattva level and see emptiness as a bodhisattva, you can take rebirth. You may not. It's typical to take 7 more rebirths, which is like 490 years, right? And a person who reaches that, they know they reached it, they see their future, and they're very, very happy. Because 490 years compared to billions of lifetimes is like 5 minutes. It feels like 5 minutes to them. They're like, whew, I made it, And those last 7 lifetimes are quite pleasant and cool. And one of the things that happens to them is that they always have great teachers from the time they're a little kid, like Ken Rinpoche's reincarnation, okay? So they just happen to be born, because of the good karma of seeing emptiness and being a bodhisattva. A person who's become a bodhisattva cannot fall from that place, and although they may take a rebirth, and they're like 1 year old, they don't remember, but they always have, their karma is so powerful that they are surrounded by really good teachers, and then they remember. We call Bakchak Sepa. At a certain age they remember. Okay, so yeah, it means if you don't know by now, yeah, you probably haven't been before. Then there's that's a long story, but if you roll a dice infinite number of times, then every number should come. But if you think about it, it's not necessarily true. It's possible to roll 10 times and not get number 6. If it's possible to roll 10 times and not get number 6, it's possible to roll 1 billion times and not get number 6. You see what I mean? That's statistic. That's statistics. Statistics give an estimate, but they cannot say each individual case what will happen. So we haven't seen emptiness directly. If people ask me, I think I saw emptiness directly, then I say you didn't. If you saw it, you know. You always know. Okay, it's out of the question that you wouldn't know. Okay, and so like that. Mark. Okay. Good. Yeah.
It seems to me like those are two extremes you were pointing out, and that there is a multitude of combinations of those two things between someone who has faith and works on logic.
Yeah.
That's part one of the question.
Okay.
Part two of the question is, which of those people, assuming that there are two extremes and we're operating close to those two extremes, which of those two people is collecting the greater karma?
Okay, good.
Thinking about dedication, which is collecting the greater.
Okay, good. So this morning we talked about two kinds of Buddhist practitioners. One is called Depi Jedang, follow after, I said faith, right? And the other is called Ripe Jedang, which means they only follow something if it makes sense to them. And I said that in the Buddhist tradition we consider the second one to be preferable, okay? Because the first one is unstable. If you follow a teacher out of emotion or out of physical attraction to them or something like that, that can fail. If you follow them because of what they say is powerful and makes sense to you, then that's stable and you will stay with them, okay? The problem, I think, and I felt the problem when I said it this morning, the problem is the word depa is the same as we've been using. Shraddha, faith. You see? We've been trying all week to reach depa, and then suddenly Geshe Michael says depa's bad. So we have to discuss, when you use the word depa in Depe Jedang, it means blind faith. It means a follower after blind faith. So which of the three kinds of faith is blind faith? None of them. Okay? There are three kinds of faith in Buddhism. One is admiration for those qualities. One is belief because you did experiments, you did life experiments, and you confirmed it to yourself. Third one is, like, I would like to be like them. But what they're calling faith when they say Depe Jedang is blind faith. Okay? It's like they believe whatever the teacher says. Because they're attracted to the teacher physically, or they like the way they ring a bell, or something like that. So for the wrong reasons or not for strong reasons, they believe whatever the teacher says. Then that kind of person is unstable. They easily switch to another path. But somebody like the example I gave from near Guelph, right? She refused to believe what I said. I had to prove every single thing to her. And then we think that, that person is going to be stable and they won't change easily, okay? But, okay, but a person who has blind faith in a high lama, right? They get some pretty good stuff happens to them. Okay, that's a pretty good karma. Okay, but it's almost accidental, and it's not stable. They can easily lose faith in the lama also. If they had faith for the wrong reasons, then they can be one of those people who give up later, or who, repudiate the person later. Which is a higher karma? I would say the reasoning. And the highest karma of all is a faith which is born from reasoning. So maybe there should be 3. Debejenang, Rimpejenang, and Rikne Debejenang. A person who has faith because they have figured it out. Okay? That's probably the highest. Then those people are hardcore. You see them in the monastery. These are like very modest, quiet geshes who did the whole geshe course, and very typically they will be serving a child lama. They went to the whole geshe course. They could be famous. They could go to Australia and be famous, which many do. And then once in a while you see these kind of really high geshes who then they have faith in a child who's a reincarnation of their teacher, and they spend their whole life, feeding them cereal and making sure they have their robes straight, and and that's a higher kind of emotional faith. They are serving this child because they understand. Okay, all right, and I think that's the highest karma. And those people are special. They are very beautiful, and really, there's a thing called Sutungutiма in Buddhism. There's an idea called the fragrance of a holy person, and they say if the lama or practitioner has a good heart, that their body smells like incense. And I've had that with the highest lamas that I've met. They smelled like that to me. Rinpoche had a distinctive fragrance, and his hands, as Rebecca said, his hands were very hot all the time. And so when you meet those like super trained geshes who are spending all day cleaning up after some little kid, they often have this fragrance, of a high practitioner, Okay, maybe one more question, please. Go ahead.
I have this experience that when someone points out my mistakes, I feel like I have this emotion, for example, I just don't like that feeling, and I don't like people point me out. But another problem is like if I really love someone, I want them to I don't know, just if they did something wrong should I point out mistakes just out of my love for that person?
So the question is 2-part. Say your name again. Hazel. Okay. Hazel gave 2-part question. First part is she said, frankly, when people correct me, I don't like it. Strangely, I have the same thing. I'm very bad at taking suggestions. And there's a bodhisattva vow that you should be open to criticism, constructive criticism. There's a bodhisattva vow. So I'm not very good at it. And then secondly, if I see, sometimes I read Gandhi's autobiography, Mahatma Gandhi. So he was, I think he was on a train in South Africa, and he was dark skinned, and he lived in a country where there was a strong prejudice against dark skin. Then he was on the train, I remember he was on this train, and some white guy, British, guy did something wrong, like spit or something on the train, And then Gandhiji said, you really shouldn't do that, it's dirty for everyone. And he said it out of love. He said it very respectfully, and he said, when you spit on the train, it hurts everybody. The guy punched him and threw him off the train, And so personally, when I see people spit I'm like, I never correct people. I just feel strange, Or I see people do something dangerous, Like they're on driving a car and they're talking on a cell phone and they almost hit me, and then we stop at a light together and I'm like, and then I think maybe I should just say, you almost hit me, you could have killed me, maybe you could make your call later. But I don't have Gandhi's sense of justice. I'm not good enough to correct them, I know I'm not good enough, because if they get angry at me, I don't like it. I'm afraid that people will be angry with me. My students are the same. I had an Israeli student, and one day, he traveled with us through Europe, DC, and one day he said, Geshe-la, why don't you correct these students who are, always messing with you, And I'm like, I just don't like conflict, I don't like, I'd rather just, say, see you later, and, I don't like this tension that comes from trying to correct somebody. I'm not good enough to correct somebody and have them punch me and still love them, So, so I appreciate your question. I understand your question. I think we have to be braver to correct people who are doing things. Like what's happening right now with killing people in Iraq. Bombing people in Iraq. We're killing many, many children and women. And, it sounds good in the newspapers. But look at some photos, look at some video. Because 2 or 3 people were murdered, Americans, in a very visible way, then suddenly the whole country changed. Before that happened, I think 30% of the people wanted to fight with this. Now it's 90, Now 90, because 2 people were killed very visibly by bad people. Now it's okay to bomb that whole area. And many, many innocent people are dying. And we should say something. We should demand that they do something less violent. Talk to them or tie them up with rubber bands. And, we are smart people. We are, China and America, we have great technology. We have lots of smart people. We can figure out something better than just bombing the whole place and killing many people, Maybe we could figure out some other way. But we're afraid, we feel nervous. Like American people, they're like, maybe I should just not get involved, And I think we should get involved. I mean, especially in America, we have permission to protest, and we should protest. We should demand a kinder solution of some, And we shouldn't get all excited about, 2 people got killed, so it's okay to bomb thousands of people. We should calm down a little bit, and But then the Buddhist people have to say to the other people, I love you, I respect you. Maybe we shouldn't bomb everybody, And that's I think we need courage like that. So I agree with you. But sometimes I get angry at the guy with the phone. And then we stop and I go, and then it's bad karma, because I just want to get him angry, and because I'm angry. Like, I don't say, please don't use your phone, I love you. Please don't use your phone, I'm like, so I think the answer also is we have to make sure our motivation is good and that we're not angry. Yeah.
I have something to add is that when I feel this urge to correct someone, I also thought that if I correct them, they will feel bad about themselves, and I don't want others to feel bad about them. I'd rather I don't know. Part of me want them to just realize their mistakes or just learn by themselves, and part of me want to correct it.
Yeah. So sometimes, me too, like I don't want to insult somebody, I don't want them to feel bad about themselves, so I don't say anything. Then I think you have to wait for a good chance. You know, you put it in your mind that if I get a good chance, I will mention something, but not directly. You know, and so I don't know, like if this person is eating bad food, you know, like you don't say don't eat that food, you know. You wait like 2-3 days and then you're at the restaurant and you put a cake on your plate and then you say, oh, I shouldn't eat that, you know, it's not good for you, right? And like that, you can find some softer way, and then sometimes they figure it out. I do that with my students constantly. Usually I wait till it comes up in the book, and then I add what I wanted to say. You know, okay. One more question, anybody? Yes, please, Brigitte.
I wonder why ACI you don't teach dedication. You teach cough meditation, but it's not dedication. And a lot of people are asking about it, and I think it would help them in their practice and in planting seeds. So I wonder what's the reason is why you don't teach it.
Hang on one sec. She said, you know, there are two great practices in Buddhism. One is ngoa, which means being happy about the good karma you did yourself. And one is like a munlam. Munlam is being happy, and then ngoa is like dedicating the karma to other people. Like when we do this mandala at the end of class, it's like a dedicating to other people. Then I had a similar larger question from Mandy in Taiwan, and I got a long letter from her, and she said, I like DCI, I understand what you're doing, you know, if you give a Buddhist free 10-day retreat, 80 people come. If you go to Singapore and say, I'm going to teach you how to find a girlfriend, 800 people come. You know, that's DCI. And then she said, could we also have some religious programs? Not just DCI programs, but could we also have some religious programs? Then I got upset in my heart. I'm like, DCI is religious, we just don't say we're religious. You know, and of course of course, everything we teach is Buddhist, but we can't say we're, you know, if you say I'm going to give a Buddhist talk, I gave a Buddhist talk in Singapore, I think 30 people came. I give the same talk in the trade union hall, National Trade Union Hall in downtown Singapore, 800 people came. It was the same talk, I just didn't use Buddhist words, you know. So, almost the same talk. It means that people want, they don't want to, my experience after 60 years, which is 40 years of teaching, is that people don't really want to be told, this is this religion, this is what we do, you know, you have to believe this, you have to bow down to this picture, you have to do this thing with your left hand, and you have to, you know, they don't like that. People don't like that. It doesn't help them so much. But what they really want is, tell me how to get a boyfriend. Okay, this is how you plant the seeds. Tell me how to get money. This is how. Tell me how to save the world. This is how you plant the seeds. Then I don't care what picture you have in your house. I don't care what books you have. I don't care what robe you wear. I don't care what group you belong to. I really don't care. After all these years, I don't care at all. Just be happy. You know, learn how to plant seeds. Make yourself happy. Make the world happy. Stop war. Stop hunger. Stop unhappiness. Stop death. You know, what you call it, I don't care. I really don't care. You know, and I got in trouble with all these groups, and I just don't care anymore. It doesn't matter. You know, teach people something that will make them happy, keep them healthy, make them have a beautiful partner, make them save the world. And what you call it, It just frustrates me. It doesn't matter. In my old age, it doesn't matter what you call it. It doesn't matter. People say, "What sect are you?" I'm saying, "I don't know." I'm happy sect. Happy. And so that applies to some Buddhist practices. Like my long answer, as usual, is for DCI, it's working. And 10,000 people came, and you don't have to join anything. You don't have to join a religion. You don't have to call yourself something. You don't have to bow down to anybody. You just do it, and it helps your life. And it doesn't. We teach. Connie just got back from Indonesia. She was teaching Muslims, and then we were teaching in, Russia. They're getting strong Orthodox Christian now. And the teenage guys on the radio show are asking me about Orthodox Christian, and I'm like, it's just principles, So my long answer is, in my opinion, we have to retrain ourselves, and especially the 3-year retreats. You have to kind of retrain yourselves to be able to present without people getting the feeling they have to join a club or they have to join something, or they have to be. DCI has gone a long way in 5 years or 3 years, and it's very, very attractive to people. And we get a new invitation every day to another city. It's weird. Like in Moscow, we got invited to like 6 new places. And it's because it's not threatening. It's not like some kind of sect thing or cult thing or group thing, or it's just and to me that's religion. So I get upset when somebody says, "Can we also have a religion class?" And I'm like, we just had a religion class. It means I don't know, to make people happy, to stop war, to give them hope, real hope, which is what the seed thing does, what you were talking about. I don't think you have to call it anything. I don't think it... Anyway, so dedication is to me an advanced practice that we will get to in the later stages of DCI. And it's a good idea. It's a good thought. But we have to be careful not to be perceived as Buddhist, but there's always a small number of people who want to go deeper. And then you bring them to Diamond Mountain, and you get the old book, and you go through every single word, and teach them the grammar and the prefixes and the prenasals, and and then those people are special. Those people can go deeper. 10% of people can go deeper, okay? When 800 people come to a talk in Singapore, 80 will come to the deeper talk, okay? But you can't leave the other 720 people. You have to give them something, right? Okay, long answer. But also, DCI teachers, I want them all to study all the ACI courses. And in fact, on Thursday, I'm going to tell you which courses you have finished, each one of you. And I'm going to tell you which ones you finished, since you promised to finish 3 months ago. Some of you. I have the list. Is done. And I'm going to embarrass you publicly. Okay? Now, so people who want to teach DCI, they should have all the ACI courses, and then they should have all the Vajrayana courses, and then they should have all the Lamrim courses. Someone who stops after Vajrayana and says, "I don't need Lamrim," I don't want to talk to them. I don't want them on a tour. They don't understand. So you should have all 3. You should have your ACI courses. You should have your Vajrayana courses. and then you should do these Lamrim courses. Then you're like a super teacher. So DCI teachers, I think that to be a DCI teacher, you have to be an ACI. You have to finish all the ACI courses, which is going to be like what? 18 times 3 is 54, right? And that's what we'll teach in Sedona. People can come from China, or people can come from, and we'll give you a 10-day ACI course. You can get a 10-day tough ACI course, and you got to come 54 times, okay, to Sedona. I'm not kidding. And then, but I think it's possible to teach ACI without knowing DCI, but you probably won't get many students, you know, because you're not really relating to that many people. You'll get 10 students or 20 students. You won't get 1,000 people coming to your talk. Okay, I think in the end, we have to take these teachings to the world without a lot of religion stuff, you know. I think so. And it's okay if you want to be religion in your home, that's okay. But most people don't want it. And then we're trying to help them. So we have to wear these clothes and play rock and roll. Okay, that's our job. Okay, all right. Kunna, you ready? Can you do? No? Okay. How about Nick, Uncle Nick? But next time you have to do. Kunna have to do next time. Okay, here we go. Puki Jushi Metodam Riraling Shin Kempadi Sange Shindu Mikteruari Yokunanda Shinga Shupasho Yang Guru Ratna Mandala Kamiyatayami Idewokun Sunam Yeshe Sopsoshin Sunam Yeshe Lejongwe Dampa Kuni Kopasho. I think Earl has something else. Oh, okay, I'm going to announce something. We're going to have the first Diamond Mountain photo contest. So, all week, please take nice photos. If Stanley comes out of the shower with just his socks on, then, you know, okay, and so we want to have a bunch of beautiful photos from this event, and we're putting them on Facebook. So of course, take photos of the sky, and take photos of the, you know, the beautiful mountains and the stars, but also take photos of your friends. We want more photos of your friends. So, you know, if they are looking very like a Buddha, take a photo quickly, you know, and let's see some nice photos, okay? And please give them to Tim, who's there, or give them to Aisha. And at the end of the week, we're going to have we'll show many photos. We'll show like 100 photos of everybody, and we'll do it together. Also on Saturday, we'll take a photo together, and we'll tell you about that so you can put on your nice clothes. Or your Jimi Hendrix t-shirt. And we just want people to see, it's really fun to see how beautiful you are. When I see the Chinese people meditate, they look so beautiful, super beautiful. I'm like, wow. Then we have to take photos, you know. So it just is nice to have, when you later you'd like to have some memory about this trip. Okay, so please don't be shy and take photos and give them to Tim or to Aisha. Okay. Oh, the 3 best photos. We will give you this book, the translation, English translation. Sorry, English. Of the liberation in our hands. Okay. So the 3 best photos. Who's gonna vote? You are. So we'll put up the photos and you have to go yay, and the loudest yay they win. Okay. Okay. We'll do that on Saturday. Okay. But just take photos. Take nice photos. We need nice photos. Okay.
So the silence debate has ended, and the conclusion is that we'll have silence through the next 3 days, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, until lunch. So starting tomorrow morning, and let's do it strictly, no speaking until lunch. Okay? When you wake up tomorrow, it's silent until lunch that day, and then when you wake up the next day, thank you. Tomorrow's a bit of a different day. It's a bit more lax schedule, and there's been a lot of requests from people to see some of the cabins. I really want to see the cabins. We haven't had a lot of time at the cabins. So we would like to show off the cabins for people that would like to see them. So we'll do a bit of a cabin tour from 12:15 to 1:30 tomorrow. So I'm going to put a sign-up sheet on the bulletin board in the foyer. If you would like to go...